First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And Mahomes going to put it up right away. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. Haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board. They're able to avoid that 3 and out.
Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
Flushed out right.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Boy, took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable. And sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play. It forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Mahomes now to throw. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
23 yards on the play. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Pacheco. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Once more, it's Pacheco. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll try and run with McKinnon. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Kene Nwangu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34.
Usually in this spot, you'd hear an offensive coordinator saying, don't feel like you've got to get this all back at once. But here, they give up the opening touchdown and say, no time like the present to show what we can do too. And that's big yardage on their initial play from scrimmage.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. The Vikings at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On play action, Cousins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Nwangu, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Waiting on it will be Richie James. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. And they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this pass broken up. Contact low time there. And now 4th down. 4th down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Look at the spin. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Handoff right side to Wangu.
And given 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Mahomes going to throw.
He's going to find his tight end Gray complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Again, it's Pacheco.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And this This offense on third down today, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. They bring that home close quickly, and I don't think McKinnon got there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he's going to go down. Sacked down to the 13-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So on 4th down, Mahomes off. Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Butker's kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3-and-out. Play action now. Cousins. They'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. So many times I advocate.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Here's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Cousins. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
The kick by Joseph is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 2-3.
They're still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the 1st of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Final play of the half. Cousins drops this off with Nwangu. And he'll get nothing out of that one. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brian Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
To throw, Cousins.
This goes out wide from Madison.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Up the middle, Nwangu. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 63 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I know it's all smiles on the offensive side of the ball right now, but you and I both know the entire mindset was just pick up the first down. What do you call that? One of those gravy plays?
Gravy, absolutely. They got more than they bargained for.
Love the way it turned out for them. Couldn't imagine going into the play that they thought this would be the end result.
Yeah, the defense got to be shaking their head there.
It's a gain of 35.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed, because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They go play action. Cousins. And this this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with fourth down now looming. This defense continues to be good on third down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should fourth down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
They'll run for it. It's Nwangu. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He's got a full head of steam on his horse. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Give left side here for Nwangu. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Play fake. Cousins. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Now a toss left for Pacheco.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. Pulled in at the 24. A field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Pacheco gets it again on second down. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we are grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Completion good for 14 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, if nothing else, some signs of life here, Charles, because you're facing the big deficit, but at least they were able to prevent 3 more from getting on the board there with a nice block.
And that's how they're comforting themselves on the sidelines right now, because they certainly didn't execute well on that play at all. Bottom line, exactly what you said. They didn't need the 3, but they sure don't like giving up a block. They'll have something to work on as they get into practice next week.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
First down. Here's Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Cousins to throw it. And that is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, we're good.
Cousins now.
This to the sideline and incomplete. Nearly intercepted, in fact. But he couldn't hang on. 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. $31 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the toss, here's Nwangu. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. Pass caught here by Osborne. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And taken down just shy of the 40.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Kene Nwangu, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. But they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Here's Pacheco once again. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense end with a big play.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. They find some open field here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
I think this defense...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
On play action, Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Cousins' throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Here's 2nd down.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It was Leo Chanel who got in to drop him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Airing one out for Crowder. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up.
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense.